Will you please go to prom with me?
I'm out.
Crack a smile. Crack a smile.
Thank you.
So we're over halfway through 2018, and I can confidently say one of my absolute favourite films of the year was Greg Berlanti's Love, Simon. Now this is a truly remarkable feature in the sense that it is the first gay-themed mainstream studio comedy. Try saying that really fast. This isn't some arty independent film released by Sony Classics during award season. The point is, Love, Simon is a beautifully made coming-of-age story that really does portray an incredibly accurate look at adolescence and a first love.
I like your boots. Goodbye.
Unfortunately, a lot of films with gay storylines in them tend to end in tragedy or tears. And while we all need a little cry from now and then, Love, Simon does not end with the audience's emotions completely tarnished. Berlanti and his writers Isaac Aptaker and Elizabeth Berger are aware of the existence of other gay films. And when developing Love, Simon, the writers made it their job for the film to not fall into the cliches and tropes of films under this topic. Some of these include the disapproving father or mother, the older lover, disapproving friends, absurd bullying, and more. What is super interesting about Love, Simon is how the film actually does take some of those tropes, some of those cliches, but portray them in a really legitimate and realistic manner. For instance, when Simon comes out to his family, his father is not initially approving. He is clearly uncomfortable and responds with a joke, completely unsure of how to respond to this situation.
So you're gay? Which one of your old girlfriends turned you? Was it the one with the big eyebrow or the one with the braces?
Dad, can you ever shut the hell up?
I'm kidding.
In a later scene, the father reveals that he was simply insecure and opens up to Simon in a really loving and legitimate way.
I just want you to know that I love you. And I'm really proud of you. I wouldn't change anything about you.
One of my favourite lines in the film revolves around Simon's dad saying they should sign up for Grindr together.
It's Facebook for gay people.
Not what it is.
One thing Berlanti and his writers do so beautifully is how they manage to make the movie incredibly emotional, sad, and downright depressing, and yet the film still manages to put a smile on your face when the credits roll. There's a particular 10 to 15 minute span in the film where everything goes to shit. First, Simon is outed by this little fucking prick called Martin, and then his dad disapproves of him being gay, and then his friends leave him, and finally, the worst of the worst, his email buddy and crush, Blue, totally ignores him. It is absurdly terrible and incredibly sad. Like, so fucking sad. It's actually during this component of the movie where I think Love, Simon excels the most. A lot of movies in this genre, the coming of age and adolescent sort of thing, simply forget the realism, especially mainstream ones. They ignore the fact that the world can be fucking cruel, especially for teenagers, let alone gay teenagers. That said, the film never gets into depressing territory. It walks that fine line where it features just enough realism, but not too much to completely depress the audience. That fine line is something that films of this nature simply fail to walk. It either falls on one side or the other. Coming-of-age films are incredibly saturated at the moment, and very rarely do they actually make a legitimate mark on the audience. However, when the film actually tries to be realistic and attempts to bring the world of fiction into the world of reality, that is when these movies remain with these audiences. They remain imprinted in their memories for years to come. I'm going to be completely honest here. If Love, Simon didn't actually show Simon's struggle, I do not think it would be held to such a high regard. There's a reason why audiences love protagonists who struggle, and it derives from a sense of pathos. We will always respond well to characters and people who are like us. A lot of people feel this way about Love, Simon. Despite being a straight teenager, of course, I related to Simon's story. You'd have to be one of those assholes who bully Simon for being gay to not relate to this. His story comes from the heart, and you can clearly see how much this film meant to Berlanti and his writers. The pain, agony, love, joy, and happiness that this film entails is simply universal. For me, Love, Simon is one of the finest entries in the coming-of-age genre, at least from a mainstream point of view. The film excels when it is embracing its realism without ever becoming depressing or grim. Through the film's unique perspective and utter heart, Love, Simon remains one of the coming-of-age genre's best films. Hello again, thank you very much for watching my video on Love, Simon. I really appreciate it. You can check out some of my other videos down below, down there. So yeah, thank you again for watching, and until next time, I will see you when I see you. Bye.